Hey guys, DarkGX137 here with a deck profile. This one here is a Vylon deck. Now, people are wondering probably why on earth are you running Vylons in this format? Well, to be honest, it's because it's a consistent deck. I've found that through playtesting in this format that I find this deck to be pretty fast still and pretty consistent, and I also really like the archetype. I play for fun after all. I'm not particularly interested in building a top tier deck, I just play with what I enjoy. So here's the deck profile, what I run. So, triple cube, so this one's pretty standard. It's your level 3 tuner monster. This one here also gets you one of your equipped cards from deck to hand when it's sent to the grave. Used for synchro. Prism. This one's pretty good. This one is 1,500, and when it's sent to the graveyard, you can pay your life points and equip it, and this gives your monster 1,000 attack points during the damage phase. It's also level 4 tuner. Tetra. This goes really well with your sphere plays if you want to go into Omega. Really like this card. So when this card is sent from the monster class into the graveyard, you can pay 500 life points, equip this card to it, and that will protect your monster by sending that to the grave. Level 3 tuner, Stellar. This one here, when it's sent to the graveyard, standard of paying, and then also what you can do is equip it, and then this will destroy the opponent's monster when it battles with something else when it's equipped. 2 Hept, 1-800 beat stick. This one here allows you to special summon an equipped monster. As long as it's Vylon. For consistency, I'm running 2 Gen X Neutron. This card allows you to get your machine tap tuners in the end phase, so you can target things like your cube, anything like that, provided you don't try and target your Thunder monster. Shining Angels for search. And then for some reason it was behind that, but Vylon Sphere. Level 1. This one really helps with your Omega plays, because you can summon it out with you've got level 7 on the field, or things like that. You can use 2 of these with a level 8, and you can get yourself into Vylon Omega. Vylon Omega is pretty useful, and this card's got a pretty decent effect as well. So when it's sent to the graveyard, 500 life points, target a face-up monster you control, equip it, and then you can send this equipped card to the graveyard, target a spell card in your graveyard, and equip it to a target monster. It's pretty useful. Now some other consistency cards. So we've got Monk. Helps bring things out and get into synchros. 2 Thrasher, special summon, normal summon. Turn 1, you've got a level 7, potentially. You're level 8. 2 Element, this card is good. This is really good. This is one of the main cards of the deck. I think that makes it consistent. So when a Vylon equipped card you control is destroyed, except during the damage step, you can special summon an equal or lower number of Vylon tuner monsters from your deck. They cannot be used as synchro monsters except for the synchro summon of a Vylon monster, of course, so that helps really with your consistency. It just brings things out that you need. Triple Material. Really nice card. Gains 600 attack boost, and also you can add a Vylon spell card from deck to hand when this is gone, as with most of the Vylon cards. Filament. This is a pretty good card as well. Really enjoy it. In this deck, I used to run it at 2, but I put it up to 3. Found I wasn't getting enough in hand. So this one here, they can't activate spell track cards until the end of the damage step. And it also gives the search effect of the other Vylon equipped cards. Component, running it at 2 at the moment. I don't think it needs to be any more in this deck. So this will inflict piercing and also search. Segment, this is quite good as well. This one here will basically stop it being targeted by monster effects or trap effects. And also it searches. Running 1 Vylon Matter. This one here is a quick spell cards to return to the deck, and you can draw a card or destroy a card on the field. Because I don't have 2, 1 KS. This is really good to get your combos off when you've got your element out. 2 MST. And finally 2 Mirror Force. That's it for the main deck. Now I don't have many traps in the deck because it was getting cloggy, pretty heavy. Now, in terms of your extra deck, 2 Omega. This is your boss monster. He is very good. 3,200, so it requires 2 tuners and 1 non-tuner Vylon monster. And in this, you can target and equip a monster to this card, and also, as long as it's a Vylon, on either player's turn, you can send an equipped card from this card to the graveyard and negate the activation of a card. So it's a monster effect, so this comes up really well against those nasty monster effects you can get in this format. 2 Sigma. Don't need to run any more of this. This is a fairly standard. This is level 7 and it's pretty easy to get out. So you can equip something when it declares an attack, which is useful because it helps power it up. And also it's easy to make turn 1, so it helps because you can bring things out like your boosts. So then you've got Epsilon. This is probably my favourite card to bring out aside from Omega. So this one here is 2800, level 8. An equipped card equipped to this card can't be targeted by cards or effects. Once per turn, you can send an equipped card equipped to this card to the graveyard and target a monster your opponent controls and destroy it. I've got one Alpha. This is pretty useful. This is a pretty fun card to use. When this card synchro summon, target an equipped spell card in your graveyard and equip it to this. When this card is equipped with an equipped card, it can't be destroyed by spell or trap effects except for equipped cards, so this is pretty useful. Then I've got this one. This usually comes out and sits in defense, but my Delta, this card, Facebook defense position, you can add an equipped spell card from your deck to your hand, so this helps search, and also it's a good block. So, you know, if you can't make anything decent turn 1, or you know your opponent's got back row, pop this out, because you're not going to be able to get your other plays off. Librarian, this one here is a draw card when it's synchro summoned. It's pretty useful in this deck. I've got a Crimson Blader. This card destroys the opponent's monster by battle, and since it's graveyard, your opponent can't normal special level 5 or higher monsters during the next turn. Pretty old card, but Iron Chain. It can be useful in this deck at times, just to help consistency, so you can essentially have it gain 200 attack, but you know, when it's kind of its battle damage, you can send the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck to the graveyard, so it's helpful for milling, as long as you don't run into something stupid. One Vylon Sigma. This is a good card to use. 3 level 4 monsters, and you can attach an X-Seed from this card, and one monster your opponent controls, equip that target to this card. And at the start of the damage step, if this card battles a monster whose attribute is the same as the card equipped, you can just destroy it straight away. Works really well with anything that runs a lot of darts, or anything like that. And last but not least, Constella Hyades. This one here is, it's a level 3. And once per turn, you can attach one monster and change all monsters on your opponent controls to face-up defense. And that's it for this video, guys. Stay tuned for more, and subscribe if you like the video. Any comments or feedback would be appreciated. Peace.